Mic check, mic check, mic check. Yes, people, Saturday morning. Lovely to have a show, waking you lot up for the weekend. Hope you're going to enjoy it as well. Me and Dax are just going to chill, chat a lot of football today. But first of all, just need to let you know in the comments, can you just let us know if you can hear us? Just because obviously it's me and Dax in the studio together today. So please do let us know. Just put yes or like mic check, tick, whatever it is, just to confirm that you lot can hear us before we do get into the show. So if you can spam it up, let me know right
have a quick
now.
Check on my phone as well.
Yeah. Roadcasters.
You know what it is? Anyone that watched last night, you saw Cass got in late. And now, to his word, I've been waiting for this day, because all last season, he was telling me that when he gets back into football, well, guess what? The preseason has started and Cass is getting back into football. So he's up early. Saturday mornings, he's often not going to be here because he's travelling down to London where he's kicking balls. So
he's starting to kick
balls.
Mike's
all good.
Mike's all good.
Lovely.
Yeah, Cass is he's trying to do the right back thing this season because Man United are moving slower signings. He's trying to get a free transfer.
I think I think he actually plays left back. I swear he does play left back. Yeah. And yes, you know what? He told me when I got back from holiday that last week he managed, because he was like, first game I am going to be blowing. Yeah, he did 70 minutes at left back. That's all right, you know.
Right.
I'd do 7 minutes, I reckon.
Yeah, big up, man. Yeah, Cass is on his way to football today, so hopefully he wins. And then obviously he'll be back probably later on tonight for a reaction on the Community Shield.
He's back for the Watchalong.
He's back for the Watchalong. Perfect. There you go, people. But yeah, we're going to talk on Pedro Neto today. We're going to talk on Dominic Solanke and the Community Shield as well. Make sure you are liking the video, people, first of all. Make sure you are subscribing. Already 100 of you in here, which is good for a Saturday morning. Rise and shine, wakey. If you haven't woke up your neighbour yet, go and tell them to wake up and watch the show. But and
we're going to be trying to keep this going throughout the season as well. Obviously, with the might be 9, 10, but we're going to try and keep this going. Obviously, my aim is that, because I'm trying to not travel up to Manchester for games on this Friday now, because that's not good for habits and whatever. So I'm going to travel up on the Saturday.
Even sometimes you used to do the morning show and then dip on the train.
That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the morning show, then dip up there. Ipswich home first game. I'm going to. So
Haaland hat-trick all over.
Bro, you know what? That is the one game, just to talk on City real quick. We'll talk on them later, but that is the game where I want to see Doku and Savio start.
Attack them.
Bro, Ipswich at home. First game of the season.
Just attack, get them on the ball, get confidence. Back.
I think Doku's going to cook this season as well.
But he's going to.
I'm intrigued to see Savio because I ain't seen much of him. So
anyway, talking of wingers, actually, next week we're going to sort it out because it's going to be me, Mons, Dax, Cass. We're going to sort it out. I'm on a holiday, but I always jump on for the big preview show, predictions, and that. It's always good to come back to as well, because they're the ones who can get the clips. Once the transfer window shut as well.
People get those likes up as quickly as possible as well. 122 in here. Let's get the likes up over 100 as quickly as possible. So as people wake up, YouTube is putting this video in their face.
Yeah,
pause.
That's it. Yeah, literally. But
wingers.
Yeah, wingers. Pedro Neto. People obviously. Yeah, that I'm not gonna lie. I was at work chilling, and then I was just like, I think Cass put in a group chat Pedro Neto with an exclamation mark. I was thinking,
City.
That's so random. Like I just thought
the Chelsea goal.
I was just like, what's going on? Loaded up Fabrizio, and I saw Chelsea, and I thought, obviously, we don't need to talk about what they're doing in the transfer market. We know they're buying bare youngsters and that, but that's for once. I was actually like, this is a real signing.
Youngsters,
I'm like, okay, these youngsters for 2-3 years, cool. Let's see what happens. But Pedro Neto, I was like, he's a starter, Premier League proven. Me and you know,
he's a starter.
When we started Never a Foul like 4 years ago, we were talking about him and saying if he can stay fit.
That's what I said last night, because first season when he joined, I think it was his first season at Wolves. Because
Claudio remember he scored in the last minute. We done the Watchalongs.
Yeah. Right. I thought that season, and you got to think back then, that was when Liverpool were absolutely cooking with Mane, Salah, Firmino. Right. I think Mane was probably a year before Mane went.
Yeah, 2 years before actually.
I was thinking, this guy's going to end up at Liverpool. Yeah, and then he got the injuries. He is, when you said, right, he's a starter. He has not gone to Chelsea to sit on the bench, right? He's going there to be a starter.
Well, wants to start.
Yeah, bro. Because he's still only. Is he still only about 21,
23 or something like that? Now.
Yeah, he's still young because he came to the. He was banging when he was young. Yeah, and he's one that I feel bad for with injuries, because those injuries killed him.
Yeah,
he's going there to prove a point. Now, I feel like yesterday on the show, I was probably I was hanging up on the injury thing. And look, because it is a valid point. If you buy someone that's, I didn't even know he was out last season for a bit as well.
Yeah, he was, yeah.
If you buy someone like that and you're going to a club like Chelsea, you've got your Reece Jameses, you've got your Fofanas, you've got your Nkunku, then it is going to be a subject, right, about can you keep him fit? Because the truth is, before Chelsea bought anyone, I was already saying if Chelsea can keep certain man fit, they can really do something, right? They can. Like, if they can, and now adding this, because all of a sudden, and if they get Osherman,
which I think they should. Yeah,
I think they should, right? And I think do you know what? I think they will.
Yeah,
I think
they want Lukaku, so there's something to sell. Yeah.
All of a sudden, Nkunku, Osherman, Cole Palmer,
and Neto,
Enzo, Caicedo, Lavia. That's one too many. There.
Yeah, no, but you say one of the midfielders.
But you're talking about all of that.
It's one of the best front fours.
Of course, people will say, "Oh, on paper, 100% on paper," but it's pre-season. We have to do on paper.
Yeah.
So, it is a problem. And look, me as a City fan, we played Chelsea twice in the league last season, and I think were both high scoring. But both were quite high scoring games.
4-4, and then
the 4-4 was mad.
Yeah, and I feel like the one at home was. I think it might have been 1-1 or 2-2. Yeah,
I think it might have been 2-2.
Yeah,
look, Chelsea could be cooking. And look, they just need to sort out. They need another centre back for me. They need.
Yeah, do you know what? Because they've got the Cole Badashilis, and then they've got Fofana who's coming back from injury as well. But Dizazi, but it's just like none of them are leaders. That's what I think. They're all good, like in their young crop. Obviously, Badiashile and all these guys.
Maybe Tosin is seen as a leader.
Tosin as well might be actually seen as a leader, but he's probably the most Premier League experienced one. But I know what you mean in terms of like if they're away at City and they're 1-0 up, if they're away at Old Trafford 1-0 up, if they're away at Liverpool 1-0 up, and you've got to go through spells where you have to defend deep. You've got to, like what Thiago Silva could do in his prime. And then, you get the crowd going and you fist bump the keeper.
Just to tell him, man, what you have to do in that moment.
What you have to do. I think the Pedro Neto one's just so interesting though, because when they got him, I was looking at him and I was thinking, right, over the last 3-4 seasons, we've seen him play at Wolves, right? You've had him play on the right-hand side where he would cut in onto his left foot, a bit like what Cole Palmer does now. And you're like, okay, so Pedro Neto, I was thinking, like you said, 2 years ago, a Mo Salah replacement if Salah decided to leave and go into bigger things, right? And then lately, he's been playing back on the left because Hwang's been playing on the right. So then I'm like, right, Pedro Neto gives you the option to play on the right. Now he gives you the option that he can play on the left. Now I was looking at it and thinking, right, if Chelsea want to go with Pedro Neto on the left, Cole Palmer on the right, Nkunku 10, and then Ottoman or Jackson, whoever it would be, up top, that's a great front four. If he then decides he wants to switch up and say, for example, he wants to play Nkunku left or Mudryk, put Palmer in the Sterling, 10, and then put Neto on the right, you've literally got kind of the same front four, but you've actually got people that are strong in different positions. Instead of like, to say, for example, I think they played a preseason game the other day. They had Mudryk on the right, Nkunku striker, and I was like, the front four on paper looks like it's a decent team sheet, but they're out of position. It's like you can't really just put names out there when they're not in the right positions. But now Pedro Neto playing left to right, Palmer 10 or right, Nkunku left or middle. They can proper mix it up. And even on the team sheet, now if they're transitioning, say against you lot, they're at the Emirates or whatever it is, they can all break and be comfortable in where they're getting the ball. It's not like...
And it does make sense. I think one might have been against us. They played Mudryk on the right.
Okay, can't remember.
No, I'm pretty certain it was against us. They played Mudryk on the right in the first half. And it does seem like he's trying to get everyone comfortable because it's all about transition. The game is all about transition. Look, like I said, the defense needs... I'm not even going to say, do you know what? I'm not going to say the defense needs sorting out. They need to go and buy more defenders or anything like that. I just think from what I've seen so far, they need to give it time.
Yeah.
Right? Because it takes me back to Pep first season, us trying to play out from the back. And that's what I saw when they're trying to play out from the back. And they're going to make mistakes. They're going to make mistakes. And I totally hear the Fofana thing, right? That if he gets back to his best, he's a very fucking good defender.
It's a don't know, isn't it?
Yeah.
You don't know if he will.
Like I remember he's another one we were screaming about. Me and you, I think we did a show a couple of years ago where we said for Leicester to get back to their best, they needed Ndidi and Fofana cooking, right? And that's the thing with Fofana. I think Colwell needs to be given a position and he needs to be stuck in the same position. I think they can't keep switching him about.
Do you think he's actually just decided on his, like, going into next weekend? Do you think he's got his best partnership though, like Maresca? Do you think he's still finding it out?
I think it would be difficult to have your best partnership. I mean, does Pep know his best partnership now?
No. Yeah, no facts. Yeah, you're right. He just
and especially he's just joined this team. I think you would think it will have to involve tossing because of the experience. I like Colwell, but I think we need to see Colwell in his right position to really see what he can do. Yeah, left centre back.
And he's also Chelsea through and through. Big up Dills as well. He says big up Daps, big up Ty, big Pedro Neto. Just the move we needed. If we get Osman as well, the attack's calm. It will take time, like you're saying. And I think, do you know what? And do you know, I don't agree with everything Mark Goldbridge says. I saw a clip last night, and I'm going to call it because I thought it was interesting. He was saying, right, with Maresca and this new style of football they're playing, and he's always trying to adapt, he's going to make mistakes, like you said. He's going to have to try and mix a few people together and see what blends well. But if you get someone like Victor Osimhen, he was like, for example, if they go to Fulham away, right? We'll use Fulham as the example. They go to Fulham away, and it's 0-0, and they've got Nicholas Jackson, they've got this new guy they're bringing off the bench to try and win a game. It might not happen when it's 0-0, but he was like, if you're trying to mix and match and trying to get things going, but you've got a Victor Osimhen, he says, you can go to the Fulham games, be 0-0, Victor Osimhen can get one chance in the 70th minute, score, and you win 1-0. No one talks about the mistakes the team are making.
100.
It's about Chelsea winning 1-0, and Osimhen will give them that. They could play crap, but win games still.
Do you know what?
I think it was a very good point.
I was watching Rants and League Gunner probably about a month, 6 weeks ago, and they were talking about Plan A's, Plan B, and I think both of them agree. But I think it was Lee that said it. He said the Plan B should always be the players, right? As in that you've got players that if your plan is not working, or it might have been their plan C, but what he's saying is ultimately, if the plans are not working, if you've got De Bruyne, if you've got Haaland,
just do something for me.
Do you know what? This game, it's not working.
Newcastle away last year for you lot. De Bruyne comes on.
Bro, you're a superstar.
Says,
and
change
for
the
me,
game for us.
that is how City should use De Bruyne this season. Right? Should be the plan B or C. If everything else isn't working, get him on, spam across.
Do something.
Bro, that's... Bro, that is it. And I'll be honest, when you're talking about that for Chelsea right now,
that's what works for them.
Cole Palmer and Osimhen is a plan B and C.
It's a get out of jail card.
Cole Palmer will find, if Osimhen makes a run, Cole Palmer will find him. Will find him. And you know what? Osimhen will probably find the back of the net.
And that's what I'm saying. And I think that's the difference. If you lot, when I don't know whoever's watching it's a Chelsea fan right now, like Dills, but like I'm intrigued now, realistically as well. Put your even non-Chelsea fans, put your expectations in the comments. I want to know what you think. This is the one Chelsea
thing that gets everyone unstuck.
Yeah, because it's with Chelsea, with United, there's a lot of like unknowns of what's going to happen. I want to know realistically what you guys think about Chelsea's season, because Pedro Neto now, obviously with Nkunku, with Palmer, if you then go and get Osimhen as well, that is a game changer. Guys, make sure you are running up the likes. 250 of you here. 9:56 on a Saturday morning. Me and Daps awake, alive, and kicking. So please make sure you smash the like, subscribe. We're actually only about 500 away from 25k now. And when you think about it, that's quarter of 100,000. Like that's an achievement.
Do you know what my daughter the other day was going to? Do you know what? So since Never Fail started, we've done over 6 million views.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, the last year I think we've done 4 million.
Wow.
But
that's incredible.
But my daughter the other day was going, Daddy, when are you going to get a play button? And I go, well, we're not there yet. We're not there yet.
It's mad how they know about it, don't they?
Bro, she wants it so she can invite her friends round and show them.
When you get
100k, So Lee, all them, man. MCFC lads, he got his a while ago.
Ours will come, but do you know what? The journey will make it so fun. Whether it's 4 years, 3 years,
20 years.
20
years. I'm gonna be older than I am now. My hairline will
still be going. You'll have maybe. You could, in 20 years potentially
have
a grandkid.
Bro, I could have a grandchild.
Yeah, that's wearing a City fan, sitting City top right here.
I could have a grandchild. Yeah. That's not even. And when I say the hairline might be gone, I mean it might have been resurrected by Turkey and then gone again by that point.
What do you think on this, by the way? I'm glad someone put it in there. I saw it this morning with Pedro Neto going to Chelsea.
To Pedro, Juventus,
obviously Sterling could be on a move to Juventus, or not, or Juventus could be looking at him. When I look at it now, obviously you're gonna have, say we said it, so Palmer and Neto are the top two wingers in the starting 11, right? And Nkunku, Campo on the left. Then you've got Madueke, who's had a good preseason. You've got Mudryk, who's young and he's on a big contract.
Yeah.
And then it's Raheem Sterling.
Well, also you've got Jackson that can play.
You've got Jackson on the left, which he said as well. So when you look at it, you've got
and Chilwell that can play on the left.
Yeah, Chilwell can chill. But you know, like Sterling, he's the one that I'm like question mark because he's older, he's experienced. He would know. One thing I like about Sterling, and people might not realize this, he's actually quite a humble character.
Yeah, he's very.
He's realistic. I think he'll be looking at it and saying, do you know what? I might not get as much game time this year. I also might want to get back in the England squad now. Southgate's not there.
Yeah,
am I going to be getting minutes? Am I going to be? I'm 28, 29.
Is he 28? So he's still got
29.
He's
now,
not. He's not coming close to retirement.
No, he's like got a good 3-4 years at the top level. I think even longer maybe in him because of how he plays. Do you think him and a Juventus move could work? Could you imagine him going abroad?
So the other thing with Raheem Sterling, and look, the media over the years has done everything they can to slander his name, but every now and again you find an actual interview with him where he's giving his opinion, not what people say he is like, and you actually hear he's humble, but he's a confident man in his skin. Yeah, he backs himself, so he won't be sitting here thinking, do you know what? Is what it is. I'm just going to ride this out and, sail into the sunset with the P. However, he is on, I think, about 300.
Yeah.
Chelsea fans will confirm it. I don't want to talk on other people's finances because I hate when people, but right, okay. Yeah, about 300K a week. The problem here is it wouldn't be a free because he's only been there 2 years.
Yeah.
Juventus like frees, and then they're willing to pay the wages. But if they're not getting a player on a free...
And we all know about Juventus, they don't really have the money.
What Juventus like doing is getting players on a free, play for them for 2 years, then sell them and make a profit. That's what they do. Especially with English players. I think I have a feeling Raheem might go abroad because... I think it would be the right move for him to go abroad.
Yeah, so that... You know what? So do I. I just feel like there's certain personalities who can do it. He's got his family, he's got his kids. I feel like he'd say, do you know what? Let's go out there, focus on our football. I'm not going to be in the limelight. I'm not going to be in the media so much. Also, let's be real. He's had a few altercations where his house has been, his house has been in trouble.
But if right now, if someone offered you a job paying well outside of this country, would you go? Because I fucking would.
Look at the time in the country now.
But I think
the country's not in a good place.
And the other thing is, Raheem Sterling for me, and this is not a diss, it's perfectly fine because I think most foreign players, when they come to the Premier League, are a gun for hire, right? Because they don't support no one.
Yeah.
Raheem Sterling's very much a gun for hire, right? No one truly knows who he supports. People in the comments will now say he supports this club, supports that club. We know he don't support Liverpool, right? But he's played for them. We know he don't support Man City, but he's played for them. We know he don't support Chelsea, but he's played for them.
Is it Gunner's son, isn't he? I don't know, actually, but I was thinking
so he's from Stonebridge, which would kind of be like it's northwest,
Northwest,
which is kind of Arsenal vibes to me. And I've always, but
he's never actually.
If you played for City, Liverpool, Chelsea,
and he was linked to Arsenal like 4 years ago.
I thought he should have gone Arsenal. I still think he should have gone. I think he would have. So I just think it would be the right move. It goes pressure off him. Italian league, maybe that'll work.
Yeah, slow. Do you know what? It's slower. A lot of people that get older go there.
Cook the French league to pieces.
Yeah, cook the French league. I feel like with Juve as well, like they've signed obviously Thuram. They're looking at getting Koopmeiners. They want to challenge Inter Milan again. Let's be real. Inter Milan are dominant at the moment in Italy. Sterling could be something they need. Chiesa's out of favour. Thiago Motta's already said, they don't want him. Thiago Motta as well, manager, plays good football.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's going to go there and he's going to be like, the football's going to stink. Thiago Motta's going to go there and try and change the way Juve play and think now. He wants to... I feel like Juve have been stuck in their role. You know how teams have moved on now? You look at Arsenal, you look at City, for example. You look at even Barcelona, You know, Real Madrid are trying to do it, bringing in young players. I feel like Juve have been stuck in their old ways for a bit. Like me and Dax obviously a bit older. I don't know how old you guys are watching, but when it was Italian football back in the day, it was about clean sheets, defending dogged, grinding it out. I feel like they've got to change a little bit now, which is why they're maybe not as successful in Europe and stuff like that. And their league has gone a bit, maybe it's time to revamp. And Sterling, with the way he's played in Man City and the way his movement and his intelligence, and he will be quite quick out there, I think it could fit. I just don't know how much it would cost. That's the thing.
Yeah, that's the cost it could. It's Chelsea.
Because how much they pay from 50s from you lot?
Yeah, I
about
reckon
50
it's about
million.
50, maybe 40, 45, 50. But it's the wage. It's the wage is going to be the big one because
loan
it's not going on. Maybe, maybe. I think. Look, do you know what? To give Sterling some credit, get people smash the likes.
Not even half the likes.
You think City are going to hold one today? Smash the likes if you think City are going to hold one. What did you just say?
How much would he cost? Because how long have you got left on his deal?
Well, it's Chelsea. He's been there
2 years.
2 years.
And he probably signed a 5-year deal, didn't he?
Minimum 5 at Chelsea.
I'd say 5. Yeah.
So 3 years. The thing is, like I said before, Juventus like frees because then they can still give players a good wage because they're getting them on a free. Right? This is not a free. So I don't know. I think it will end up being a loan. You know, I think it will. I think this is the problem, bro. This is a problem with so many clubs get themselves into. It's great with getting these players on these long contracts, for the reasons that they are. And it's fine if you're not getting them on that contract, like when they're young and you're getting them on a low wage. But when you're getting players around their prime age, 25, 26, and putting them on long contracts and they're on 300 bags a week, it's long. It's like, bro, you've got a few. And I've been saying to Cass all summer, right, about Maguire, he is not going anywhere, right? And personally,
180k a week,
bro. And personally, I actually think, do you know what? Based on last season, it's not a bad thing that you don't get rid of him,
I don't mind it.
But ultimately, Harry Maguire is at an age where he's on 180 grand a week, right? As a grown man, you're not looking to be paid less than that, right?
Yeah.
He knows if he rides out his contract at Old Trafford, he will get a Saudi move. Bro, he's in bed with Live Golf already. Trust me, he'll get the Saudi move, bro. So he will. He knows that. Like, I've got a friend that works for Live Golf, and he's told me they love Maguire because he retweets all their shit and whatever. He's a golfer, right?
He does like his golf.
So he knows he's going to get that. And there's a lot of players. If you get players over the age of about 26 on big money, it's long. If they don't work at your club, it's long because unless you're going to pay them out, they'll just sit there. Calvin Phillips. Do you know Calvin Phillips was a 6-year contract for us?
Raw.
I didn't. It was a 6-year apparently. Bro.
This is his 3rd season.
No, he came in with Harley. Yeah, this will be his 3rd. So he's been there 2 years.
Wow, that makes sense. Why it's maybe hard to shift him, and he went on loan,
and he's on good wages as well. At City. So
wow. Okay.
But it's we've made the mistake. So I'm not just trying to slander other clubs. We made the mistake with Calvin Phillips. When you get these players and give them a good wage at a certain age, like they'll just sit there and go, nah, because my paydays aren't about for much longer. I'm not looking to. But Raheem Sterling, I was about to say, Raheem Sterling was not. Chelsea fans, you're going to hate me for this. Raheem Sterling was not one of Chelsea's worst players last season. He had some fucking moments.
He had some moments. He had some moments. I know he dominated
against us, bro.
Yeah, even though I know people might laugh, it was Burnley away. He absolutely took them to the sword. I just feel like, he's just such a weird one. I've always said it with Sterling, right? He's always going to be a good team player. But when they brought him in, and I think you remember me saying it, I said, him being the main man, him having the responsibility, it's not Sterling. He wants to be in a team. He wants to be in the end of things. He wants to be part of something like a cohesive. He can't stand out. Or when you say, get me out of jail, he's not going to be he's not going to do the Cole Palmer thing and get you out of jail. And that's why I feel like now, with the team they've got, and if they get an Osimhen, and now they've got Neto, and now they've got Palmer, could he now actually be even more? Could this be his best season?
I did a slide. I did a slide when he moved to Chelsea, right, to try and prove to say what I was saying, right? And it was not just his goals and assists, when he was playing with Aguero, to when Aguero left. Right? When Aguero left, and remember Sterling's last season at City, we were playing with a false 9. Yeah. His goals and assists both went down drastically because Sterling is someone that finds space when there's other players on the pitch. People will say, "Oh, his pace is his best quality." And that. It's not. It's his movement and intelligence and ability to listen to the manager. Right. And Pepper said to him, "Listen, if you've got Walker bombing on, you've got Aguero, you've got all these players running, right? Sterling and moving forward in the box, he'll take 1 yard back. Find that space, right? Now with Osherman, all of a sudden, and Nkunku, with all these players, you might start getting the best of, and his other quality is not running at goal. His quality is short bursts of pace. It's acceleration, like little 1-2s in the box. That's what he's actually good at. So I don't know. So me personally, if I'm looking at who Chelsea have, I'm not getting rid of Sterling. I'm getting rid of Mudryk. I'm finding a way to get rid of Mudryk, not Sterling, because I think Sterling, like we've seen it at City, right? Chelsea fans will keep, some Chelsea content creators will keep saying, no, you know what, there's a good player in Mudryk, there's this, and we've got to give him time and this. All right, cool. If you're willing to say you think there's a good player in Mudryk, you can't ever say there's not a good player in Raheem Sterling, because Raheem Sterling is fucking proven as a good player. If you're willing to go, nah, you know what, give Mudryk time. Well, bro, Sterling is Premier League proven, right?
Yeah.
For me, he's probably in, like,
I think he's definitely got a place in the squad. I do agree with you.
Me and Gat were having a conversation out there.
Obviously coming through the City way, he will understand, and Sterling might connect to the way he wants his wingers to play more.
Gat was trying to have a conversation with me out there that Raheem Sterling should be labelled a Manchester City legend.
Oh my God,
right?
That's
right. That conversation when you went, that carried on and on. Bro, he was putting Wes Brown as a Man United legend. And at that point, I said, I understand why you think. He thinks I should have 100 legends, And I'm going, I'm not doing that. But I will be honest, Raheem Sterling is probably maybe in the top 10 most influential City players in this era.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Influential, cool.
His goals, bro, you take them away, you're taking some trophies away. So
but he's not a legend.
If you're willing, so what I'm saying is, if you're willing to go we'll give Mudryk time, give Sterling some time in a proper squad, and if see what he can do,
because he is proven in the Premier League, and at the moment, if we look at it as well, you've got a balance. I feel like when you've got all this young talent and these potential players or players that are good in other leagues, you've got to balance experience with expectation. And I think if you're in moments where Nkunku or Osimhen are going through a tough patch, at least players like Sterling, who have been there and done it, can be there to galvanise players, but also step up with some moments or actually show some leadership. So I think that is the key for Maresca, not getting rid of all your experienced man to bed in all these young players, and you've got no one to sort of hold it up for.
I'm a B100 as well. Sterling is a leader.
He is. Yeah.
And especially
if he's got to say something, he will say it.
I always remember, where a young City lad got racially abused, and Sterling came out and basically said, because he never defends himself.
Okay.
But he came out and said, I'm a confident man. I don't need to defend myself, but I'm not having young black boys be gone at. Right.
Yeah.
He is, and it's weird, but even if I look at City, when he wore the armband, we often were winning games.
He wore the armband a few times.
He is a leader. It's all very, Sterling is a unique individual, that's just been portrayed so wrongly by the media, But anyway, we'll move on from that. We've got to talk on
Solanke, actually. But guys, before we do, please make sure you run up the likes. Make sure you also check out Rivals Tears on Instagram. Something for them dropping soon. But like up the video, people. Nearly 400 of you in here Saturday morning, halfway into the show now. Please make sure you support the channel on our way to 25k. It does go a long way. And then later on for the Community Shield, watch along vibes as well. Make sure
it's not going to be on, and that's on Tifo. So on our Tifo channel.
It takes 1 minute to set up an account on there. But we're going to go into Dominic Solanke. Perfect time to segue into it, because Tottenham have been quite quiet in the market. They've got Bergvall, the new midfielder, who does look very tidy. But in terms of from the hype of last season and the first 3 months with Ange, to then Maddison's injury, to then the end of the season, it's kind of petered out.
Yeah.
And now it's like, right, they need something to go into next season. Now, Dominic Solanke for me, I think is the perfect signing for Spurs. I looked at it, right, and I know he's been at Liverpool. I know he's been at Chelsea, guys, and it's not worked out.
Wait, come to Chelsea Academy.
Chelsea Academy, and then went to Liverpool, didn't quite work out, and then obviously ended up at Bournemouth. And I feel like now, like sometimes it's just right timing for players. Him being 26, him being the main man at Bournemouth, him staying injury-free at the moment, getting goals last season, I think it was 17 or more in the Premier League. I just feel like them experiences at the top clubs where it didn't work out, and then dropping down and then coming back to a Spurs is the perfect time. He's not at Liverpool or Chelsea where the expectation is high. He's going to a Spurs, new stadium, better football. And one thing they have needed is a number 9. Now, people could say they should have got Ivan Toney, for example, but right, they've got Solanke, 65 million. I think he's the striker they need because he could do the all-round thing. So with Solanke, he can drop into the pockets, he can hold up the ball, he can link up with the wingers. He can also run in behind because he's quick enough to play on the shoulder and win a lot of fouls and a lot of penalties or get red cards for defenders and also finish 1v1. So when you look at what Spurs are doing right now, who are their key players in attack for me, guys? You've got James Maddison and you've got Heung-min Son. Now, Heung-min Son, when was he most successful? When Kane was dropping in the pockets and then Son was spin off and running behind and then he would get slipped in and then he'll finish 1v1 and so forth. That's Heung-min Son. You've got James Maddison. James Maddison was cooking, always with Jamie Vardy in that starting 11 for Leicester, right? James Maddison started well for Spurs. It then petered out, but he didn't really have an option. When he's getting the ball in the number 10 pockets, who's he looking for in front of him? Who's there? There's not really a proper number 9 because Richarlison's not really that guy. For me now, James Maddison's going to be getting the ball in the number 10 position, and he's going to see Solanke there on the shoulders of defenders where he can actually play a through ball through, which we know he's very good at with that final ball. Get James Maddison doing what he's best at, on the half turn, trying to find the striker. Get Heung-min Son doing what he's best at, not getting the ball and trying to dribble past players. Get him running in behind the right back and getting Solanke to drop deep, and then Maddison can slip in behind as well. So now it gives them a lot of options. Now, I don't think it's going to be amazing for Spurs this season. I don't think, oh my God, they're going to finish in the top 4 or anything like that. But I think when you're looking at a Spurs team that doesn't have loads of good players or solid players, I think Solanke, Maddison and Son, I think now the link up is going to be better because he gives them that option now to drop in or run in behind. And obviously Archie Gray, they're signed as well. He can play in midfield or can play at right back. But I'm not going to lie. I don't think Solanke's, oh my God, he's world class. He's amazing. But for what Spurs need, Daps, I think it's a good move, you know, bro. I do.
I agree with everything you said. I think it's also not just for what Spurs need, it's for what Spurs can get. Right? And that for me, it's a perfect move for both.
And it's not disrespecting Spurs.
No,
it's the proper Spurs.
Sorry, I'll say the same. If Spurs fans want to take it as being disrespectful, no problem. Right? But Spurs are not they're not a team that challenges, right? They're not a team that is guaranteed top 4 every season. They're not a team that wins trophies, right? So, you know, right. If Haaland was available, if Haaland was back at Dortmund right now, could Spurs go, we're going to go in for Haaland? No.
Probably not. Yeah,
right.
I was going to say probably not.
Yeah. Osimhen. Is Osimhen really going to go, do you know what? I want to move to Spurs.
Yeah, no.
He's not, bro. Right. Spurs are Spurs.
Yeah, it's the Ivan Toney, it's the Solanke.
Ivan Toney, bro, let's be real. Ivan Toney, now, with the way that no one seems to want him for whatever reason, maybe Spurs could get him. If we go back to May, bro, when Arsenal were after a striker, there was rumours of you lot wanting him. Chelsea, I don't think he would have been going Spurs as the first team I want to go to. Right. And that's just being truthful, right? It's just, and by the way, at one point that was definitely Manchester City as well. Yeah, I understand. So we all go through it. At one point, no one wanted to join City, no problem. But I think that's sometimes not a bad thing because you go, I mean, you know what? No one would have gone in for Jamie Vardy back in the day, right? And look what he did for Leicester. Yeah. So I think it's a perfect move for him. He's come away from the big teams. He's come away from Liverpool, Chelsea. He's gone to Bournemouth and he's made a name for himself, right? So now he's getting the step up, right? Yeah. Now he's getting the step up. Now, ultimately, if he continues to cook at Tottenham and Tottenham go on and do stuff, he'll stay. If not, he'll leave and he'll go somewhere else, right? Because this is a perfect place for him to go and show, all right, you've been a good player at a small team. Now, can you achieve
prime age, 26.
Bro, with Maddison feeding him. And you're right. I said this yesterday. I think Son Son being the main man don't work.
As well.
No, but Son being the main man last season didn't work. Didn't work. He needs to be playing off someone.
Yep.
I think like even the way that Solanke plays, I do think for Spurs it's a needle mover.
Yeah, I think it is definitely like they should be happy about it. It's not the biggest name, it's the best name, I think, profile-wise. It's not always about names. It's about what fits the team. What have you been missing? It's injury-free, Premier League proven, 26. It's like, when you look at what his attributes are to his age, he's English as well. Like, he wants to probably try and break into that England team now. When you've seen Harry Kane, 31 now, he's getting a bit older. This next Euros World Cup, there's going to be there's Ollie Watkins is 28 now. Yeah. You know, Ivan Toney's 28. There's going to be room for Solanke to potentially break 100%. Into that. It's the perfect timing for everyone. And I just feel like Spurs have needed a striker. Obviously, everyone knows since Kane left, naturally you're going to need a striker. But it's not just signing a striker. It's about getting the right striker. And I just got a feeling that this could really work. If it doesn't, like you said, it is 65 million. I think he signed a 5-year deal. They'll give it another season to see how it goes. But if not, they'll be like, right, do you know what? We need to go out there and get another striker. But I think one thing for him is that there's not so much competition as well for places. He's got Richarlison that can play up top, but we've seen what Richarlison can do. Unfortunately, he's just not in the right headspace at the moment. And then you've got Heung-min Son, who can play up top, but he prefers to play on the left. He doesn't want to be the main man. So even if Solanke comes in, doesn't score in his first 2 games, it's not like you're at Arsenal where you're like, if you come to Arsenal, then you got the fans saying, oh, he hasn't scored in 3 games. Oh, it should have it start up front again already, whatever it is. It's like
they're still backing with
Solanke's gonna he's gonna get back. Solanke can say, do you know what? Andrew's gonna say, look, if you don't start well and you don't win the first 3 games, it's cool. We're gonna find ways to get you chances and you will start scoring. And I think that's what will help him. It's like not having the pressure of going to a Liverpool or Arsenal. It's like, I've got to come in and hit the ground. Like in my head, I've got to score on my debut.
So but I think let's talk league only.
Yeah.
He can, right. I would expect him to get 20 goals next season.
Yeah.
Right.
That's what Zakaria is saying. I literally put it up.
I wouldn't rule out he could get 25. Right.
Do you think he'll take pens, or do you think Son will stay on pens? Because that is a way to score goals.
Well, that's an extra 5 goals.
Yeah. People don't realise that.
Maybe 25 is a bit high, but it depends on the penalties. Yeah. But what I'm saying is he could get 20. Like if he stays fit, he'll get chances when he has a season. A 20
goal. 17 at Bournemouth.
Yeah, exactly.
So actually, that's right.
With them not feeding him, right? Now, the minute you hit those numbers as an English striker with a new English manager, you're getting a call up, right? He will get a call up. So for him, it's a perfect move. For Tottenham, I do think it's the right move for what they can do. And also, do you know what? The striker market isn't great at the moment. That's why we got so much.
That's probably one of the best options they could have got. Actually, yeah. What do you think? Where are they at for you this season? I know we do our by the way, we're going to do our prediction show next week, so make sure you do lock in for that and like this video as well, people. 350 of you in it, so please make sure you do.
Yeah, please get those likes up, people.
Get those likes. So I want 200 as well, definitely before the stream ends. Where's your head at with Spurs? Is it just battling for top 7, like and trying to get a couple?
Yeah, I think what everyone like. This is the time of the season where we say things. And I could be completely wrong. However, I think this season, if you look at so let's move Arsenal and City to one side because I think most people would agree Arsenal and City are going to battle for top 2. Liverpool is an unknown quantity at this point for me. You know, they get linked with Zubimendi and all of a sudden, you know, they're back in there with Arsenal and City apparently, but then they don't get Zubimendi, and then all of a sudden they're back with the rest of them, right? They're an unknown quantity, Liverpool. That's all I'm going to say on them because I get it. I've been in wars with them, so I'm not going to rule them out. But whereas previous seasons, United have been about Newcastle,
really been about
Chelsea, not about. Chelsea are about this season.
Yeah, they are.
Chelsea are about. Yeah,
they are now.
I think Man United will be about. I think
Man United and Chelsea.
And when I say about, by the way, I think we're talking about top 4, who's battling for it. And I think Villa definitely will with the signs they've made. Yeah. I thought they were dropping off, but
no Newcastle for them last season. Like Newcastle, we don't think. Remember Newcastle
maybe, possibly. But however, all right, so let me say this. One of these two, Aston Villa or Newcastle, one of those two will be very much battling for top four.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
It is valid to say Newcastle had a lot of injuries last season. And if Newcastle do get a
4-0 last night.
So I think Newcastle or Villa, one of those two will be battling there. And all of a sudden, Tottenham have a lot more to think. Do you know West Ham are building something
Best
over
window,
there?
That's
so all of a sudden, I think Tottenham and sorry, but I'm gonna say they're Spursy, bro. They'll start the season well. Yeah. I have no doubt Deji for the first 2 months is going to be all over Never a Foul, talking about everything they're going to do. Bro, by January...
He's going to come on and say Solanke's better than Jesus and Havertz and all that. He's going to be running it up.
But by January, there'll be injury excuses because their squad's not good enough and they will have dropped off, right? It will happen. So
if they okay, so let's be realistic because I don't think they get top four.
Tell me a time Spurs have not dropped off. Right? Because even in their best season, they dropped off.
Yeah, even when they should have won the league.
They dropped off. Bro, Arsenal ended up finishing above them.
Yeah, right? Actually. Yeah, and they were like behind with 5 games to go. Do you think if Spurs good cup run and top 6, do you think fans would be happy with Ange? Or do you think, because how I'm trying to picture it, right? So you got Man United and Chelsea, which I agree with. So say we've got Arsenal, City, top 2, right? Liverpool are either going to be, I think they're in 3rd in their sort of own lane at the moment. And then you've got United and Chelsea at the moment, who for me would be the teams battling for top 4 right now, even though we need more signings, right? When you look at Spurs, do you think their fans will be saying that they can get top 4, or do you think they would accept a top 6 finish? Because with Spurs, I just don't know if their fans truly believe that they're good enough for top 4. So like, if top 6, cool. Like if they got top 6 and just like, right, end of season, Spurs finish 6th, is Ange blessed?
Well,
they're kind of that team.
You just summed it up perfectly, right? That Spurs fans will say that they should be challenging for top 4, right? But I agree with you. I don't think they truly believe that.
No,
I don't think they truly believe that. I don't.
You know
actually. When I deep it, I think
they don't.
Whereas some teams are going, we definitely should be like Chelsea fans. When Chelsea fans say we should be challenging for top 4, they mean we should be challenging, and we believe. Because deep down, Chelsea fans want to be saying we should be challenging for the league, but they're going, just get us a bit of momentum, then we'll be back there. Whereas with Spurs, bro, they never cemented their place in the top 4.
No.
Well, I always described it when that Super League came around. They were the people outside of the window looking and wanting to be in the party, and some knobhead invited them. Bro. So I don't think their fans truly believe, and I think their fans should be happy. Bro, they need a cup.
Yeah.
Bro, a Carabao.
They need to go bro. In Europe next year.
Yeah, where did they finish? They finished above you, didn't they?
You know what? I forgot the table already.
They did. They're in Europe. They're in the Europa.
What are you
They've got to be in Europa.
Yeah. Sorry, guys, my mind goes blank now. Okay, 5th. They're in Europa.
They're definitely in the Europa.
They need to go for that. Oh, so we're in Europa with them because we won.
Yeah. And that's what pushed Chelsea down into the conference.
Right, so we're in the Europa with Tottenham. Okay.
Tottenham fans have no right to have any expectations.
Yeah.
Like, if we're being real.
Top 6 for them, and the cup's the big thing. I agree with you.
I think they need a cup.
They need a cup.
That can help to propel them.
A Europa adventure.
We won an FA Cup before we won the league. Right?
Yeah. And it just gets you going and believing. It gets something going. Yeah, it's going to be interesting with Spurs. 100%. Guys, if you like that, actually, I'll put the other drink.
Yeah, right. So I don't know what likes we're on. Let me have a quick look. We're probably on under 200. So,
well, 150, I think.
Smash the likes if you think United are going to get punched up today. Do you think United are going to get punched up today?
You know,
or are you still riding the wave of that FA Cup?
Let's talk Community Shield now, guys. 158 likes, 376 watching. So about half, just under half, actually. So, guys, let's get that to 200 now because we're talking Community Shield today. Look, you got the Mighty Reds, you got the Mighty Blues. The season is just starting to warm up now. You know you're all going to be watching it 3 o'clock today. But yeah, get your predictions in. Let us know anything you want to see start. You know, anyone you're looking forward to, let us know, man. 100% Xerxes debut. People are saying Haaland is bagging. 4-0 City, 4-1 City. Yeah, let us know. We're going to talk about it now. But I don't know. I'm going to be real with you. Like, I woke up and I'm like, do you know what? I'm waking up. I live 5 minutes away from that. I'm going to come and do a stream today. My Saturday started. It's nice and productive. And I'm kind of looking forward to the game today instead of being like nervous or having anxiety. Because one, I don't really like expect to win, but I also know styles make fights. And because we beat you in the FA Cup, anything's possible. So I'm kind of like, do you know what? I'm just glad to have some club football back.
Yeah.
A game that actually is good for us to watch because Man City and Man United, so people will want to watch it and it's hopefully going to be entertaining. But I've got this unknown feeling of I do not know what to expect. You've got a few key players out because obviously they're returning next week. You've had your preseason as well. We've had a full preseason for players like Ahmad, Mason Mount. Like I want to see Sancho. I'm actually more intrigued to see how the players play rather than the result. That's how I've woke up. How are you feeling?
So pretty much. I mean, look, it's a community shield.
In the squad today, by the way.
Yeah, he will be.
Okay, so
like Savio will be in. Will Savio start?
So that's how I am.
So community shield, I don't care about. I'll be honest with you. I really do not care about. However, I care about losing to you lot.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the truth. I care about going back to the FA Cup final. Obviously, I've forgot about you lot over the last couple of years, like to the point where I actually sometimes say to people, do you know what? I hate United less than I hate Liverpool and Arsenal.
Yeah, it's mad how times change now. I get you.
Until being there and seeing all you pricks with your red flags, and it instantly came back to me, nah, you know what? I hate you lot. Bro, at half time, I wanted to leave the ground. People were trying to talk to me. I was looking at them like, get out of my ear, bro. I hate you lot, right? I don't want to lose to you lot, not again, right?
Sort of the pride in it within you. It's
but at the same time, I don't like. I've seen lineups and De Bruyne. I don't want to see De Bruyne starting. Right?
Okay.
I don't because
what has he been on pre-season, by the way?
No. Have you seen he had top knot for a day?
Yeah. Now that's he's just come back.
He had a top knot for a day. Then you cut it off.
Like, what's going on? Yeah. Okay.
But personally, I know De Bruyne likes wearing them baggy t-shirts. He didn't look the fittest neither from the picture. I'm sure he will be, but I don't want to see him because ultimately. Community Shield is a large scale friendly. And
get some good minutes into the squad compared.
There's nothing we need to learn about Kevin De Bruyne. Right? There is nothing. The only thing we do need to learn is if we can keep him fit, right, and manage his minutes. So do you know what? Bring him on for 20 minutes at the end to get him a bit of game time before Chelsea away because we might need him in that game. Right. So we do need something in his legs, but I want to see probably Bob. I want to see Bob start 100% because Bob has had an unbelievable preseason. Yeah, bro. You know, he looks like a player that last season
he's
saw.
Ahmad then.
Yeah. Yes. And I would say both. Maybe you know a bit more with Ahmad, but what I would say with Bob, that's a very good comparison, actually. Very good comparison. Cass said it the other day.
Okay.
But what I would say with Bob is last season he was a young player that we knew a little about, and we got to see glimpses, right? And those glimpses allowed him to have confidence to believe that he should be a part of this squad, right? And in pre-season, bro, he was playing like a main man. Like he was playing like, listen, I know
off the right.
Off the right. I know that Savio's here. I know that Grealish is back cooking. I know that Doku's here. I know that Bernardo can play as a winger, but guess what? I want to make that position mine. That's how he's playing. Good like Ahmad is. Like exactly like Ahmad is.
Give the manager a decision to make.
So that's where even with the whole links to Chelsea and whatever, this guy believes he should be playing City. He ain't going nowhere. So I want to see Bob. I'd like to see Savio. I want to see McAtee because, you know, Pep's deciding to keep McAtee around the team. He's looked good in pre-season at last because I've been waiting for that to happen.
Yeah, I do like McAtee as well. But United last year,
but these are the type, and he was looking good, but in a very bad team, right? So now it's a chance of, and last pre-season, I'll be honest, he didn't look good last pre-season for us. Whereas this pre-season, he's looked like the player that we know he can be. I want to see him. This is the type of games where, like, the way Pep operates is August through to, I would say, February, right, is a chance for players to prove themselves. Because once February hits, he knows his
Title
best
mode.
11,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
right,
yeah,
you
yeah,
lot
yeah,
are the.
yeah.
And I'm not saying it's based on quality. Sometimes it's based on who he can trust.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? You have put a shift in.
I
so
remember
you
your
are
back
going
four
in.
changing loads last year to Christmas.
But then,
yeah,
right. So this is a time where I want to see. Let's be real. I don't want Rodri. I don't think Rodri has come back. No, I'm pretty certain Rodri hasn't reported back to training yet.
Carrot laps.
With what?
Man United chance.
Oh, so I don't think Rodri has reported back to training yet. But even if he had, I don't want to see Rodri start this game. Yeah. Because this is, at the moment, we ain't gone out and got a Rodri cover. So today I want to see what Pep is planning on doing.
I'm actually intrigued because I'll be honest with you, like, because the preseason's in America, I haven't like seen a lot of your starting 11s and like
the defense has been shocking because we had none of.
I don't know, like, I don't even know what your predicted team is today.
Nah,
like,
so because
like,
Vardy will be playing because he's. I think Vardy from you got to remember we had the most players away at the Euros in Copa America.
Don't know
all of our defenders, like our opening game.
So Diaz is not back.
No, they're back now, but they weren't on tour.
Right.
So the only one that was on tour was Vardy. So Vardy will play.
Right. Okay.
I would say there's a chance Rico Lewis might start at right back, but Walker. In fact, you know what?
Yeah,
I don't believe Walker, Rodri, Stones. No, they haven't. Foden's still fishing in Grimsby. He's been fishing for a week.
Oh wow.
So none of them. So it might be Rico Lewis at right back. In fact, I'm pretty certain it will be because I don't think we've got. Oh no! Right, hold on. No, here's one to talk on. Right, and me and Steve had a chat about this, and I don't know where I stand on it. Cancelo.
Oh my days,
bro! Now you know
he's still there,
bro. See, I was very much with what happened with Cancelo. He's a bad egg. Get him out the club, yeah. And Pep got, but where I am, and this is what my argument is, because Steve was fuck him off, get him out the club, but right. I'm saying De Bruyne's game time needs to be limited. Yeah. Now, Kevin De Bruyne is 1 killer pass, right? João Cancelo is 1 killer pass. Yeah. Remember at City, some of the outside of the boot passes, bro. And with Walker kind of aging,
100%.
All of a sudden, I'm kind of looking at it going,
becoming a proper right
if we're hitting the market for a right back and we have João Cancelo, and Steve's going, no, bad egg, right? But it's got to a point now where if Barca, and people are still saying Barca might still come in for him at the end of the transfer window, it might still happen. But if I'm Pep right now, Cancelo's been back in training, right? His relationship with the players, all the other players, has never broke down.
He can play inverted.
I'd possibly, if I'm Pep,
I'd keep him.
But the whole thing is Pep and him have to sort their issues out.
Pep's the guy. He's like, Pep if you're going to fuck about, you're not playing.
And that's the thing. Look, there's two things. One, him and Pep have to be cool. And two, he has to understand, look, you are not a guaranteed right back every single fucking game. If I ask you to play left wing, you're playing left wing, right? He has to understand that, yeah? But for me, he's a weapon. Like he is, and however much, like
you've got that sort of like Trent moment in him.
We're not hitting the market for a right back, right? Walker's come of age. It makes sense to keep him if the personal issues can be. So today, I wouldn't mind seeing João Cancelo start.
I think Rico Lewis could start on the right. Cancelo could be on the left. It could be Gvardiol centre back, and then with another option. And I think you've got a solid enough back forward that's competitive enough, definitely in a game. Do you know what? That João Cancelo shout, I think. With you lot not going in for the market for anyone at the moment, his ability to play inverted, he already knows the system, he already knows the Prem, he is proven.
His passing ability with De Bruyne playing less.
Yeah, with De Bruyne playing less. Even with Rodri, got injured or something, you need to say, right, I need a bit more control in there. Cancelo can give you a bit of control as well. I think that's such a good option.
But there's been seasons where Cancelo, and I'm not going to come on here now and act like I have not knocked his defending. I don't think he's a great defender, right? But at times, Walker's not been a great defender, right?
Yeah.
João Cancelo's passing ability, there's been seasons where he has very much contributed to us winning the league, very much with his goals and assists. So I wouldn't mind seeing him, but Haaland's cooking, bro. I'm just telling you now, Haaland has been cooking pre-season. He looks. It looks like him and Grealish.
Haaland and Bob and Grealish will probably be the front
I
three.
think so. I think so. That's been predominantly what we've been starting in pre-season.
Kovacic will start.
Kovacic will start, yeah. I think Kovacic might, instead, because Rodri won't be starting.
No, Kovacic
looked good in the last couple of games.
Okay.
But the whole Rodri thing, still, we don't know, because I've seen... I don't know who Pep's going to have doing that position. Like Calvin Phillips, I don't know if you saw the one game Calvin Phillips played centre-back.
In the pre-season?
Yeah, and was balling out of control. Well, so he's played the DM role against...
Is he looking fitter?
But,
I always just feel like he's a bit like a Wayne Rooney. Like, them man just carry fish and chips.
So our first pre-season game, we had a complete young back four, and Calvin Phillips played in the 6 role, and he thought he was an attacking midfielder and wasn't giving the defense no. It was shit. It was just what are you doing? You got a young defense and you're not covering them. You're not. But then he played as a centre back, and bro, positioning spot on, interception spot on. Bro, he was spraying balls left, right, centre.
He's a sprayer. And
it was like, fuck. And some was going him in a centre back role. No. We got way too many. But there was no pressure on him, because no one's expecting him to do an amazing job as a centre-back, because he ain't a centre-back. Now, I feel like that might be something that he just needed, right? He just needed a bit of a confidence boost, right? So maybe Pep play Calvin Phillips in the 6 and say, look, let's build on what you did last game. But I don't want to see Rodri. We don't. This is not a game where
you don't need to.
We don't need to see what Rodri can do. We don't need to see what
and ready for Chelsea. That's Chelsea next week. That's the big focus.
Yeah.
It is Chelsea next week as well. Guys, we're 3 likes away from 200, so please make sure you do that. I'm glad that you guys have got the likes up. The show's been consistent as well. Still 350 of you here for the whole time. So thank you very much on a Saturday morning. I love the content this morning.
So just on you lot.
Yeah, I was going to say, we're talking United.
I'm hearing your defence is a bit of a sticky one still.
Luke Shaw, like, this is the problem. Like, the Luke Shaw fit, very good player. At the end of the day, we've always said it, availability, the best ability. We can't rely on him. So we've got Harry Amas, who's a youngster, obviously signed last season. He's been playing in pre-season and he's looked decent. I like him technically, but I also feel like defensively, he's not been that great. And now this is the thing, Man United fans, right? I want to not call you out, because you guys that are watching, I believe some of you...
There'll be a few of them calling you out, mate.
Yeah, they'll be calling me. Yeah, exactly. They probably will on 10 in about a month. But I feel like Harry Amas, calm down with him, guys, because I feel like he's 17. He has got the technical ability. He has got a good whip on him. But I also feel like we're in that position now where we haven't got as many left backs or many options. So it's just like, right, we've got to play Amas. Let's throw him into the first team squad. I feel like I don't want to shatter his confidence that quickly, because all it takes is one bad performance or, a couple games where he gets cooked by an experienced right winger and all of a sudden he's not ready or his confidence goes. And one thing I said to my boy that we've clocked as well, me and Rance are talking about, is that his body language. He's that type that, like, I feel like if he does have a difficult moment or difficult spell, his passing can then start going astray and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I feel like Amas technically has got the ability to be a Manchester United player in a couple seasons, but he's 17. Let's not shoehorn him in there like that. If he plays today, you know what? Cool. He plays today and that's him playing today. It doesn't mean he's going to be playing for the rest of the season and stuff like that. I'm happy to see him get minutes. I'm happy to see him get an opportunity to show what he can potentially do, but he's not ready to be a Manchester United left back yet. But he's solid. He's had a decent pre-season and I'm happy to see him, go from there. You've got Toby Collier. So, like, he's a midfielder that, for me, I'm going to label him as like a technical version of a McTominay.
What does he look like?
Literally, like, he's tall, blonde.
Oh, no, it's not the one I'm thinking. No, it's not the one. There's one.
There you go. Look. He looks a bit like Brandon Williams.
There's one young midfielder for you lot that came on in the second half of one of your friendlies. I did watch.
Black guy.
Yeah.
Oh, your Delhi.
It's like a DM.
It would probably be on your Delhi. Yeah. It'd probably be him. So I feel like Collier, out of all of them, like, because he's got the frame and the physicality, one thing Man United miss, and we've said it for time, is like people that can ball carry, but also like recovery as well. Because I feel like Manchester United get hit in the transition a lot. Like, like someone that can get around the pitch. And I feel like Collier might start today because I feel like he's played quite a bit in pre-season. It's a good chance to see him against like physical, actual men as well. And he gives us a profile that we don't quite have right now. Do I think Collier's like good enough to be a starter for Man United? I'll be honest with you guys. No, I don't. I actually think that at the end of the day, Man United still need 3 or 4 signings. But we've got to talk on the players we're going to see today. And like you said, with McAtee and players like that, I think Toby Collier might get minutes. I think Harry Amas might get minutes because we haven't got no other fullbacks at the moment. But do I think these guys are game changers for Man United? No, I don't. And I'm happy to admit that. I actually like having players that are happy to, you know, come through into the starting 11 or try and make themselves into the first team squad. But do they move the needle for me? Not quite yet, because we haven't seen enough of them. So that's what I'm thinking of. Big up Biz as well. Big up Chaps in the chat as well. Big up Chaps.
Bit of breaking news. Jack Grealish won't feature.
Okay. So that does give Oscar Bob the chance.
No, Bob will start. So I think it's
Doku back.
Yeah, Doku's back. He'll be Doku
or Savio.
Maybe Savio.
And you might say, you know what? This is your chance to go out there and enjoy yourself.
Savio and Bob can both.
Man United have both got positions where you've got Savio, you've got Oscar Bob, you've got Ahmad for us, you've got Toby, you've got Amas. Players that are gonna Sancho as well, and you've got players that, you know, are gonna want to just take their moments today. That's why I'm very intrigued. I think Sancho and Ahmad are the two I'm looking at. That's today. I'm like, Ahmad for me, you know, he's been on loan to Rangers, didn't quite work. He went to Sunderland, and the people, if you're not from the UK here, Sunderland's a big club, right? He was taking penalties, he was taking free kicks, he was the main man there.
Big club?
The stadium, No, but not big club as the Man United, but their fan base, they've got a proper good fan base.
They've got a hardcore fan base.
Yeah, they've got a hardcore fan base. Like, if you do well for Sunderland, they're going to take you. But yeah, look, you know what I mean? They're not a Mickey Mouse club. Do you know what I mean? They've been in the Premier League for a long time. Do you know what I mean? So when I look at Ahmad now, it's like he's come for 36 million. He's not quite had his moments yet. He played and scored against Liverpool in the FA Cup semi-final, quarter-final last year. Didn't touch the pitch after. Now is his moment. Anthony's not the right winger. Garnacho's just come back. Rashford is going to be playing off the left.
I'm looking forward to seeing that knob.
Yeah, exactly. I know that guy. This is your chance, Ahmad, to say, right, this is my time to shine at right wing. Him, Sancho, he's the interesting one. I don't think he's cut out to be a Man United star, but what he does give you is the intelligence, and that is he's like a Sterling. Like, he can give you the moments. He's a technical player. He gives you, you know, he can play on the right, he can play on the left. It's a chance for him to now say, right, you know what, put water under the bridge. I want to be a Man United. So
right now.
I think Sancho and Ahmad both. Get minutes. Ahmad will start with Rashford.
Bob, can I just touch on Ahmad?
Sancho, could he be the false nine?
Ahmad has to start.
No.
Because Ahmad has not signed a new contract yet. Ahmad's contract is up next summer, right? Ahmad knows he's a good. For me, I'm going to put this out there. From what I've seen, and I don't watch all Man United games, I like Ahmad. Don't like's a loose term. I rate Ahmad from what I've seen more than I rate Maino.
Okay, I hear you. Yeah,
right? And that's just I don't watch all games, but every time I see Ahmad, his decision making is so spot on. Right? You know, like there's one thing in a friendly where he just doesn't. He reminds me of a City player in that he doesn't take unnecessary risks. Right? And he knows when,
like Bernardo Silva, they know when.
He knows when a pass is on, and he knows when a shot is on, and he knows when sometimes it's, do you know what, just a sideward pass because there's nothing there, and I'm not losing the ball, because that is the fundamentals. Don't lose the fucking ball, right? And I think he knows, and this is where I think Ten Hag's hands are tied, right? If Ahmad is not a starter for the first 2 months of this season, Ahmad is going in the summer on a free. Right, he has to start.
That he wants to stay. He wants to prove himself. He's got the mentality, but he has to get the chances.
Bro, there's only a certain amount of hearing everyone talk your name, and the manager not pick you before you go, do you know what? I know my worth. I'm not going to sign this contract. Like he's a free.
Do you know what it is with him though? And I think this is crazy, by the way. Like, to say he has no football IQ, free PS. Give me a free PS then, because.
Oh, I'd completely disagree. Do you know what I just said? But again, I haven't watched 100 Ahmad games. What I've seen is the one thing I would say he does have is football IQ, which is having the sense of when to release the ball, when to shoot, when to not. Right. So in one friendly, cut into the box, put it bottom corner. Right.
Yeah.
About 10 minutes later, exactly the same position. Right. But he saw that a player was closing him down, so he laid it off to someone else. Now, do you know, I'm telling you now, Garnacho would have shot him. Right? Now, that's shit football IQ, right?
100%.
Whereas he knew
Ahmad and Garnacho, that's football IQ, people.
That's the one thing I think Ahmad has got football IQ.
Do you know what I like about what you said? Even though, like, if he doesn't, like you said, if he's not starting in 2 months' time, he would potentially be looking at like, wow, I want to leave.
Yeah,
I feel like I said this to Rance, right? I said, there's certain players like you just said. I have not watched loads of Ahmad, but I can tell he's a proper footballer. And you even just said that, right? I said to Rance, I said, because he's now starting games and he's going to get the keys to the right wing position. I said, he's so smooth on the eye. He's so technically sound. He has got great decision making. And he also look compared to the right wings of last year. I believe in him so much that he's not going to put himself in a position where he's not a starter in 2 months. I feel like he's the type that actually he's going to make himself more of a starter. I can't see him like
one big issue
being crap.
One big issue.
Like he's going to be better than
I hear you. One big issue. And this is where I don't know if today we'll see it. I think next week we can start to see it. You lot haven't looked bad pre-season, yeah. Even the Liverpool game, you didn't look bad, right? You created a lot of chances. You didn't look bad last pre-season, right? You were playing. Sancho was playing last pre-season. The season starts and Ten Hag just fucking has head gone moment and starts dropping players and playing and reverting back.
And that's story's there now. Hopefully not.
That's the thing with Ahmad that I believe Ahmad will do all he can to get a position, but it's on Ten Hag, bro. Like a lot of Man United right now is on Ten Hag. He could earn the right to play, but then Ten Hag just won't start him. Now, I think someone at your club will have told him to get Ahmad on a contract. He must start. Because otherwise, bro, he's going on a free. And I can see him going to La Liga.
We can't lose him. We can't lose him. For me, I think how we've set up with Rashford and Ahmad in pre-season, they've got the minutes, they've got that cohesion going. They have to start. And I think before we do our predictions quickly, I think Rashford's the interesting one because I think that he's in now the position where Sancho's had the pre-season with him and Ahmad. Garnacho was the starter last year, but he won the Copa America. He's only just come back. Rashford's mentality with him potentially was going to leave maybe this summer, people saying PSG and stuff. Next year, maybe, if it doesn't work out. If Rashford wants to stay at Man United and be the guy, he has to start games because I feel like his mentality compared to others, if he didn't start against Fulham next week and the week after, he's already in a strop a bit. He's already thinking, you know what, I should have maybe left. No, Rashford, you've got Van Nistelrooy working with you. You've had a full pre-season. You've had time off. This is your time now, Rashford, to say, Garnacho, you are holding bench because I'm going to play well that you're not getting back into the team. Whereas if Garnacho started, Rashford's then got to have that mentality and them two might clash because they're trying to battle for the same spot. Rashford, this is your chance. All pre-season, rested. You and Ahmad, take your spot. Claim that left winger spot because if you play well, you're not coming out the starting 11. But if you don't, Garnacho and that mentality of the Argentinians are slipping. Sancho. What do you think? Or Sancho. So
I think so I've never been a fan of Rashford, right? I think he's one of the most overrated players in a long time, right? When we're talking football IQ, I think this guy has none.
Okay.
Right? Yes, he can finish. 100% he can finish, right?
He's like him in Son for me.
He's not a 9.
You get him on.
He's not a 9. Right? He can't. He's not a 9. Now, the one thing I will say that is maybe fair is who's he learnt from, right? Who has he learnt from as a striker? Who's advised him as a striker, right? Now he has Van Nistelrooy there. And that, when you said that, I thought, oh, yeah, that's valid, right? I also think that Rashford is, I do think, I'm not going to say he's been the problem at Man United, but what I would say is that I honestly believe that he looks like he doesn't care at times. And I think he's done, you know what, right? I don't like when people say players have got an attitude problem, right? But I think with Rashford, I think we've seen enough to show that, do you know what, at times it looks like he doesn't care, right? It really does. Would you agree with that?
Agree with that,
right? At times it does look, and I
Body
do
language
think
is a big thing,
and I do think at times he might also be like, when you lot aren't doing well, it can't be me. You saw how many goals I scored last season. I'm not the problem. When sometimes like, bro, you're not running. You're not running. Do some running or something. Now, I think right now, if he's not getting the golden boy treatment, he's at risk. If he's not getting the golden boy treatment.
What do you mean by golden boy treatment? Because for me, because he's Marcus. You start and you're playing well, you stay in the team. You start and you're playing crap. At the end of the day, it's a squad game. You got to start. You got to come off the
right. And that's exactly what I'm saying. That if he doesn't get the golden boy treatment, that even when he has a bad game, he starts the next game because he's Marcus Rashford. Right. He's if he might get that, and then he's not at risk because do you know what? Ten Hag is going to keep playing him because he's Marcus Rashford, right? If Ten Hag is going into this season with no agendas against anyone, no golden boys, then he's at risk because he's got Garnacho and he's got Sancho, who both have
good depth.
I mean, for me, Sancho's football IQ is better than both of theirs.
Yeah, facts. I agree.
And when I've seen and this is the whole thing, bro. When I've seen you in friendlies, it looks like you want to try and play football, right? And when you want to try and play football, you need players that know how to play football, like Ahmad, like Sancho, like Maino, right? But you tried to play football last summer, and then the season started, and Ten Hag decided he didn't want to play football no more, right? And then he reverts back to go, fuck it, Garnacho, Rashford, start, and just outlets, right? Yeah. So this is where I think the next couple of weeks are interesting for you lot to see Ten Hag. Are you actually going to try and play football now, or are you going to revert back?
I think that's what people want to see over, like today, even like you said. How am I feeling? It's like players. I want to see what like Ahmad and that can do, but actually, is our football going to look a bit different today? Have they been working on little patterns over pre-season? Have they done something a bit different? It is going to be the interesting thing. It's going to be exciting actually because.
So one thing I would say is you lot, I believe, right? And this is people, Cass, if you were here, you'd receipt this up because this is my first prediction going into the season, right? Yeah, you are meeting a different animal today than the animal you met in that FA Cup final, right? That FA Cup final is the first time in quite a few years that I've seen City in a important game, right, look like they didn't care. First time in years. We win so much because we care and because of desire.
We didn't care.
But I'll be honest, we didn't. Bro. We looked pissed.
It was like you had it's like you all overslept.
Bro, we looked like we didn't care. Like second half, Doku cared.
What? So you don't think that we just played well in the first half and the second half? No,
I didn't say you didn't play well. But bro, Man United playing well against a City that care still get ran off the fucking pitch, bro. That game, but how can you
make fights? So I just think it's a final. Anything can happen. I don't want to discredit us, and I don't also want to say
I'm not trying to discredit you, but people in the comments,
you lot didn't care.
People in that FA Cup final did you care? Bro, you just as a City fan, as a City fan, when it's games that we care about, we fucking play well. We look bad, bro. We look really fucking bad.
You looked bad, but you cared. You can't tell me.
No, bro. I'm not. Hold on. I didn't tell you we didn't care. I said we looked like a team that didn't care.
Okay, right. Yeah,
we looked like we didn't care, bro. You
played poor. I thought Man United tactically got it spot on that first half.
We were bad, right? I'm not saying
you're my guy, but you got owned it in that one. I think you did care, but you just didn't play great.
Bro, I cared. I cared massively.
The players cared 100%.
I don't think they did. I don't think they did.
Cup final against Man United, guys. Are you hearing this?
Yeah.
You might have overslept. No, but you cared. I'm not going to let you on stream say you didn't care about an FA Cup final.
Bro, I'm telling you, they looked like they didn't care, and I know. I know a City team that cares. I've seen it. I've seen what happens when we care in cup finals.
Doesn't mean you're going to win every cup final if you care.
Bro, I'm just saying we didn't care. And even down to the fact of, I think our preparation, I think we overlooked you. I think we're caring, right, is not just, if you care, you don't overlook a team, right? I think we overlooked you.
I think you might have overlooked you.
Right, but that's part of caring. If you care, you don't overlook a team.
No one goes on the pitch wanting to lose. I just think...
Hold on, I didn't say that once. I didn't say we didn't want to win.
But the fact that you're saying you might have overlooked us, but you still care.
So to boost your ego...
I think in that first half...
To boost your ego, you lot looked...
Second half, you came out and looked different. Didn't get the equaliser. If you did, you probably win the game. But we just played well and tactically... Hold on,
Ty. Second half, let's be real. Let's be completely real.
You were better than us.
No, Doku was better than you. Right?
Yeah,
the rest of the team, Doku, the rest of the team weren't at the races.
You know what? We're humans. Teams can have an off day. It doesn't mean they don't care. City just had an off day. But we played well.
What I'm saying is, I understand your standards. Yeah, I understand. No, listen to me for a second. I understand your standards. I understand our standards when we care, and when we care, our standards are higher than that. Now, I'm not saying they didn't want to win it, right? But the desire was not the desire
set up well in the first half.
But I also think it's relevant that maybe both of your goals kind of came. They were good.
One was a transition,
but some of them came from mistakes. Bro, we were defensively at the back. Defensively, no, actually, your second was good. Your second goal was good. Your second goal was good. First one was a mess from us. Bro, you can't remember fucking...
Oh, Gavardio, the keeper. Bro, yeah, that's it. Yeah, but that happens. But
yeah, but no, I'm not trying to discredit you. Like, it's like, bro, well done. You got your trophy, and it was your day out, and you looked in the first half, you were the better team, right? But I know a City that rocks up to places and cares, right?
But and even if you do care, even if City rock up to a game and do care, it doesn't mean you're going to win every game. City rocked up to the FA Cup
I think
final,
you just want stripes. I'm saying you were good.
Bro,
I'm saying you were good.
I don't need stripes. Bro, I'm just saying.
I'm saying you were good.
You did care. I just didn't like the fact that you said you.
No, because it hurt you, innit? Because it's the FA Cup final, bro. I've seen City that care, and I'm not saying we didn't want to win, but there's wanting to win, and there's really fucking wanting to win. We didn't really fucking want to win that. And it was true, bro. At the end of the game, some of our players were laughing, bro. At the end of the game, some of our players were laughing. That's the type of shit when your players are laughing at the end of it, your fans are going, what they're doing, laughing when we're losing. I felt like that on that day.
All right, so say, for example, the Champions League final against Inter Milan and the FA Cup final against Man United. The way the players were probably focused and mentally and proper into that game in the zone was more than what it was the FA Cup final.
And the year before. And the year before.
And maybe the year before.
Do you know what, bro? Do you know what? All right, let me give you the perfect example.
Tactically, we're good.
Yeah, because you want the stripes. That's what I mean. No. You saw that as an insult. You want your stripes because you want me to boost your ego.
I just said to you, the Inter Milan Champions League final and the way you played, and the way you went to the first FA Cup final, you probably were mentally more in the zone for that.
So let me give you the perfect example there. Let me give you care, bro. I didn't say we don't care, but. Right, look at the FA Cup last season. Look at the FA Cup this season. Last 2 seasons, right? When we won the league the season before, the partying wasn't too much because we still had the FA Cup and we still had the Champions League, That's caring. We care about winning the FA Cup because we want to do a treble. We care about the Champions League. So guess what? We're not going to party too much because we care, right? We're not going to go in. We saw clips on our documentary. You see clips before the FA Cup in training with Pep talking to the players about how important the FA Cup final was. We were not overlooking Man United. We cared. We came flying out of the blocks and got a goal in 60 seconds because we cared. Now, of course, bro, listen, hold on. Let me finish. Let me land, please, bro. This is Pep Guardiola. Pep Guardiola, you've seen him in pre-season friendlies punching the fucking side of the thing because we conceded a goal. We care. However, there's levels to caring, and that FA Cup final last season, we didn't care like I expect my club to care when it is going for a trophy. Yeah. I'm not saying we were going, fuck this, let's lose the game. But if you're out drinking for days when you have a cup final,
I just think you wasn't as prepared.
Right, hold on. Let me give you an example, bro. If you're with a girl, and you and your girl on going through a hard time and you're going out on the piss and not spending time with her, you don't really care, bro. You don't really care,
I hear that.
right? And it's like that. I'm not saying we wanted to lose it.
No.
I'm not saying in the first half that we didn't overlook you. You didn't come flying out the blocks and stun us.
No.
But like I said, bro, where did you finish last season?
Yeah, we finished 8th.
Right. You finished 8th. So a City that don't care as much should still be able to run finishing 8th Manchester United off the pitch, and we were just not at the races.
Yeah, it's a hard one. I think it's, you know, when it's cups, finals, and it's derbies, I just feel like, well, like I've always grown up on, form goes out the window, and I just think anything can kind of happen in a final, and that's what happened. It was a final that we played well in the first half, you played well in the second half.
However,
and I do admit that, on that side of it, in terms of the Champions League final and maybe the final before, mentally, you were more in the zone and you were like amped up for it more, but you still obviously wanted to win that
because
final.
there's more on the line. We wanted a treble.
But I just think it's you know, obviously maybe it's the rivalry side or
you want me to go United were great that game?
No, I don't want to say United were great that game. I'm just saying that United tactically were better in the first half. We won the final. We deserved the final overall.
Yeah,
and
you
City,
did. And I'm
taking nothing away.
I'll give you that. You deserved it.
And I'm taking nothing away from City. City is still a great club, and the football you play, and we move on. But I'm just saying that, you know, in the finals, everyone wants to win a final. People do care. You weren't as prepared before. No, you weren't as prepared or amped up for it as you were the Champions League final, when I could admit that. But Man United got you on a bit more of an off day, and we had one of our better days because our season was poor last year.
Got a lucky first goal.
and we move. But
got a lucky first goal
I'm just
to
not
build on. Bro,
Bro,
but
you know
your club.
I just can't have the
Bro, hold on. Bro,
yeah.
did we not just say about Rashford? Yeah, did we not just say about Rashford? Yeah, that at times Rashford looks like he doesn't care, and you agreed.
Yeah, at times.
Right. Okay. So for me to say at that game we looked like we didn't care really isn't that wild because you just agreed on Rashford, and I saw the body language of some of our players on that game. It was similar, bro. They looked like they didn't care.
Doku wake up in the second half.
Doku
I feel
was
like
cold,
I feel like the players. No, do you know what it is? Boxers sometimes they care, but they have an off night and they lose a fight.
Right, so we're gonna. Okay, cool. So in that case,
he had a bit of an off day. So
hold on. Yeah. So you just said that at times you think Rashford looks like he doesn't care from his body language. Yeah. Okay, cool. So remove the off day bit for a second. I'm telling you, the body language of City players that day looked like they didn't care. It is exactly the same as what you said on Rashford. Yeah?
Okay, fair.
Like but that's it. However, what I was going to move on to is today, right?
Okay. Do you think you'll see a team that cares today?
Yes. And if I don't, I'll be pissed off because in pre-season, it's looked like when I'm not the youngsters cared, but they maybe weren't good enough, right? But our senior players in every game look like they care, right? Now, they would have got, because by the way, that final, Pep would have cared 1,000,000%, yeah? Mm-hmm. They would have got ripped into by Pep, yeah? Perfect. The last competitive game in the Premier League, in last season, we lost to you lot. Today, they have a chance to make amends, right? So I think we're going to be on it today, ridiculously, because we have to start well. And I think you're going to see a completely different animal today. I think City are going to have the bit between their teeth. And I'm not going to lie, I think a few players I think Savio's starting now. If Grealish doesn't start, I'd like to see Savio start because I think he'll be hungry as well. So
okay.
So
we'll wrap it up. Do you, in terms of like today, do you expect City to win?
Yeah, I do. I expect us to win the FA Cup final, by the way, but I expect us to care.
Fair enough. I think I might.
Well, do you expect you lot to win?
I don't expect us to win today, but I want to see Ahmad play well, and I want to see how Mason Mount does because he's the actual one I forgot about. Yeah, we'll save that for another time, but he's got an interesting season. I think City will win today. I think they will get the job done. I don't think there'll be a lot of goals either. I think it might be a 2-1 Man City.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be a great game either. But let's see. I think it's just going to be interesting to see how some of the key players do, or some of the players that are looking to break out this season, or new signings as well. I hope Xerxes does get 20-30 minutes, people. That's got the pot stirred. I do believe that, Xerxes got a good 20-30 minutes in him. I want to see how he does because I'll be honest with you, he's my number one striker for Man United this season, people. Same what I said with Solanke, Xerxes. I think Højlund will be on the bench. I think Xerxes got the dribbling, the hold-up play, the calm finishing and stuff like that. So it is going to be interesting. And before we go, guys, please do smash up the like button. I think we're over 200 now. So make sure you do hit that like button if you haven't. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're going to be doing a lot of shows over the next week as our big prediction shows. There'll be a lot of back and forth, a lot of interesting takes as well. And also today, TIFO. If you haven't become a member of TIFO, please make sure you check that out for the watch along. It takes 1 minute to sign up. That's what time you live on there today?
We will be live from 2:30. It'll be myself, Soups, and Cass. Cass is playing football right now. He'll be back after that. Quick one to all you hyenas that are in the chat. I know there'll be a lot of you. I will be on TIFO. So if you want to tell me to hold that, if City lose, then you'll probably have about 2 minutes when the game ends, right, on TIFO.
And tell him that he does care.
I care. Bro, I told you. I nearly went home at half-time in the final. I fucking cared. That's what pissed me off the most, because I was going...
the first Manchester Derby FA Cup final as well.
Bro, no, it wasn't. We beat you the season before, bro.
Sorry, sorry.
But... I cared, trust me, bro. I cared more than anything. That's why I was so livid that we lost.
Yeah, I hear you.
But I know that you lot will probably be saying, if City do lose, which I don't expect us to, I know tonight everyone's going to be in the chat going, where's Daps, where's Daps? I am going out in London today.
Yeah.
After the game. I'm staying still, watch along, then I'm going straight down to meet someone.
Quick one.
So if you want to, if United are winning, you need to get on that watch along. You need to tell me to hold it on there because I won't be back until tomorrow for you to tell me to hold it on.
Okay, it's good you clarified that quickly. Community Shield, if it's extra time or is it straight pens? Anyone
Arsenal did Arsenal win on pens last year?
Yeah, but I don't believe it went to Trossard scored in the last minute, didn't he? And then didn't it just go straight pens? Straight pens. Hey guys, let us know quickly, because actually that's quite important in terms of watch along stuff and all that. Is it straight pens or is it watch along as well?
I'm dipping. I won't be there. I'll be watching that on my phone.
Yeah, I just want to see what people put in the straight pens. I think it's straight pens as well. It makes sense. It's it makes sense. Big up guys for confirming that, because the rules change every single year. You don't even know nowadays. But guys, we appreciate it. Over 350 of you stay basically throughout the whole show, so I appreciate that. It's been an interesting debate. Obviously, Pedro Neto to Chelsea. We've also got Dominic Solanke to Spurs, and then we spoke on the Community Shield as well. Make sure you smash a like, subscribe, and make sure you're there for the watch along later. And everyone have a blessed and joyous weekend.
Love.